Most franchises, when they come back after being gone for a while, have a new villain to go along with it. Most franchises. But not all of them completely revolutionize and change the series, like Aaron did in Buck Race 7. So welcome to the Buck Race official YouTube channel.
Thank you, thank you.
So just start off with an intro. Tell us who you are, how you got into Buck Race.
My name is Aaron. I am a student with a focus on the fine arts and humanities. Um, how I got into Buck Race was I was invited to a Survivor roleplay server, which is where I met Josh. And one day, like a couple years ago, he was like, "Do you want to play Buck Race?" And I was like the cow? And he was like, "Sure." And I was like, "Okay." So then I showed up to play in Buck Race, and now I'm here.
Nature. For context, this was Aaron's first season, and currently the only time he's made it to a final Buck challenge. He also made it past a record-breaking 5 elimination challenges. Although this record would be broken in the very next season by Ahmed, it's still very impressive. Aaron was recruited as one of the new players on Buck Race 7, and after winning the first challenge, he was in a good position until he was faced with a twist of a decision. Okay, so in the first challenge, which was just the new players, I hadn't revealed the returning players yet, the Iris, Ace, Maito. It was just you, Ren, Ahmed, Pays.
Hmm.
You played in the first challenge and you won that first challenge. But there was a twist. You had to split your winnings with one of the returning players. So what was going through your mind in that?
I don't remember the challenge, but I remember having to split the money. Um, well, my first thought was I'm really close with Ace and Maito, so I didn't really care about them. So I was like, oh my god, Iris. I love Iris because I've talked to her like twice, and I was like, I want Iris to win. So I was like, I'm gonna split my money with Iris, and that was all that was going through my mind.
This, combined with the great performance in the Kahoot Challenge and a win in the Escape Room Challenge, painted a big target on Aaron's back right away. The list challenge early on gave other players a chance to scheme against Aaron, such as Ahmed and Ren. So the next thing we gotta talk about is the list making challenge, and that was the challenge that Ren won, because Ren and Ahmed made this deal to
Hmm.
get Ren the win, and Ahmed wanted to screw you over.
So Ren made the deal with both me and Ahmed in a group chat, and then Ahmed separately messaged Ren and was like, let's screw Aaron over. So when I found out that he was trying to screw me over, I was like, typical Ahmed behavior, whatever. But I was like, wow, this this could just become like a major plot point in my storyline on Buck Race, but I wasn't sure yet because I didn't know what my storyline was. Overall, I was like not happy with the fact that Ahmed was trying to screw me over, but that won't be the first time in this long line of Buck races that I participate in, so I should have taken it as a cautionary tale. Each player had to distribute 70 Hunter Bucks to the other 6 players, and whoever had the most got the power to actually distribute the Hunter Bucks. The result of this challenge was Ren pissing everyone off by keeping every Hunter Buck to herself that she could. This was pretty good for Aaron because the target was off his back and he got an advantage to chop anonymously at the Log Chop Challenge. It was here he created a plan to get Iris the win and Ace second place, hoping to gain favor with Ace. What he didn't account for, however, was that Ace would take the win for himself. Oh my god, I wanted to kill him. And like in my mind, I was like, we made an agreement, and I think what I value most in a friendship is loyalty. And it's like we made an agreement, we were gonna do this. I say that as if Ahmed did not just try to screw me over like the last challenge, but like we made an agreement, you know, he was gonna take second, and then he didn't, and I was like, oh, so we're gonna have problems now. And I was ready. I was like, you know what, the season has been kind of boring. Ignoring the whole I decided to play the challenge secretly for no reason. And I was like, okay, I'll fight. And then I think I fought him or something. From this point on, Aaron focused his energy on his biggest threat, which was Ren. Although they were each other's biggest threats, they were not actually after each other. They were good friends outside the race, and they wanted to sort of fake a rivalry almost, but to get other people off their scent. But we were talking about it since the Log Chop Challenge. We were like, let's pretend to fight this entire challenge or this entire like game, and then team up together last second. And that's what we did. So we had an entire plan through it. The plan fell through like almost immediately because these you can't plan with these people. Love them to pieces.
Such fun moments as when they alternated wins between the two Cameron challenges, and they were very close to each other in the top 2 at this point. What they weren't ready for, however, was the whole game was about to change with a few elimination challenges. The first elimination challenge of the season was the emoji picking challenge. The emoji Aaron picked gave him an advantage in the next elimination challenge, which he was able to pick the pairs. Unfortunately, he didn't know what a prisoner's dilemma was.
The next thing we got to talk about is the prisoner's dilemma challenge, and how in the last challenge before that, the emoji picking challenge, you got the ability to pick the pairs for the prisoner's dilemma challenge. And if I remember correctly, you did not know what the prisoner's dilemma was. So you would pick the pairs as if it was like a team challenge.
Yeah, I could have Googled it, but I was like, to make this more entertaining for myself, I didn't Google it. And I think it was a lot more entertaining without me Googling it. But I did choose Ace, I'm pretty sure.
You did.
And I should have learned from the Log Chop Challenge that he wouldn't have split with me because he is a liar and a hag. But he chose to steal my money, and I was like, okay.
Aaron put himself with Ace and picked Split as a way to give their alliance another shot.
I chose to split with Ace because it was a 50-50. But I was like, Ace, if Ace wants to win, he'll win. Or if he wants to be loyal, then he'll be loyal. But it's like, regardless, I would rather see him succeed and me fall a little than overtake the entire game and like strong arm it.
But unfortunately, Ace didn't trust it and picked Steal. Aaron wasn't the only one being stolen from. Aaron's best friend in the race, Iris, had been stolen from because of Ren. This put Iris in the danger zone of being eliminated. It was put to a vote by everyone else, and Ace became the deciding vote, where he decided to cut his old Buck Race mentor from the game and officially burn that bridge with Aaron.
So was this kind of like the third strike for Ace, voting out Iris?
Honestly, probably not. Like, I think I understood Ace's decision from a strategic standpoint that, like, he would want less competition in the game. So I was like, yeah, sure. Like, voting out Iris makes sense. Like, personally, I was hurt by it. I was like, wow, Iris is our friend. And, like, you just decided this dirty, dirty liar was like, yeah, I'm not going to vote Iris out. And was like, and then voted out Iris. And I was like, like, I guess it makes sense. Like, if I'm trying to be mature about it, but I wasn't trying to be mature about it. I was like, what is wrong with him?
And now we get to the finals day eliminations, starting with the long-awaited return of Buck's scavenger hunt. Now this is a challenge that hadn't been seen fully as an elimination challenge since Buck Race 4. So it was a pretty big deal to come back here. And Aaron competed in it. Thanks to Ace's stealing move, he put himself in the top 2 and was safe from the Buck scavenger hunt. Aaron had to fight for his life against Ahmed and Maito. He won in the first round. The next challenge was Trivia Endurance, where Ace and Aaron went back and forth in points, which leads us to our final elimination challenge, with Ace still in the lead. The final elimination challenge was a classic puzzle challenge where Ace was safe and Aaron and Ren had to compete against each other. After an iconic speech, Aaron and Ren put their differences aside and loopholed the challenge to get into the final Buck challenge with Ace.
So when you teamed up with Ren in that last challenge, tell us about that.
So it was premeditated. So we decided to team up until like that point where we would like verbally support each other, but we also knew that I'm really bad at math and she has vision problems. So like one of us was gonna fail the challenge. So, like we had like known like live it out for the other person. So when I went to the finale, it wasn't just me fighting for myself. I was also fighting for Ren too.
Because between you and Ren, I think you were closer to winning that than Ren was. So you were kind of like putting your own like game aside to bolster you and Ren both together.
Period. I like to see my friends succeed, and I wouldn't say I'm like a very competitive person. Unless I'm in Buck Race, for some reason, the worst comes out of me in Buck Race. But like overall, I wouldn't say I'm a very competitive person. So when I had the opportunity to let Ren succeed, like it sure hurt me a little bit, but I was still in a good position. So I was like, let's let Ren like succeed too. So that's like really my mindset when I play these games is like, I want to see my friends be happy too and succeed.
The final Buck challenge was a jury vote. Everyone made a speech, and the jury of eliminated contestants plus me and Pecco voted for the winner. Aaron made a very long, well-thought-out speech, but ultimately was only able to get Maito's jury vote.
So, last thing is the finale challenge, the final buck challenge, which was the jury vote and the speeches and everything. Now, you only got one vote, and that was from Maito.
It was long. I read a really long essay. I don't blame them. I think it was like 1,826 words.
And with the majority vote, after Ahmed was threatened with a Cameron appearance, Ace was declared the winner.
Ren was really, really close to winning. If Ahmed had voted for Ren, then that would have made it a tie, and we would have had to bring in the tiebreaker vote, which was Cameron. And Cameron would have come in and he said he would have voted for Ren. But Ahmed didn't want to see Cameron at all, so he voted for Ace.
Honestly, fair. I don't think anyone willingly wants to see Cameron in Buck Race. Outside of Buck Race, he's completely chill and fine. But like in Buck Race, the devil on his shoulder takes over and just speaks.
With Aaron in second on technicality of him having more Hunter Bucks than Ren did. Although Aaron did not take home the win this season, he gave us an all-time performance that revolutionized how the game is to be played. I will see you next time for a very special video. I'm so excited for it, and I know everyone's gonna love it. See you then. All the snowstorm. Windy. It's fucking windy.
Can you tell like I'm really trying to like play Ace as the villain when I'm like in this interview? I don't know if I'm doing that well, but